I didn't set out on this walk to film anything profound. I think I just needed air. February has a way of sitting heavily with me. It's not dramatic like December. It's not hopeful like March. It's just there, lingering, grey, quiet in a way that can feel endless. But this day was different. It was the first proper sunny day of the year, and I didn't realise how much I needed that light until it touched my face. The air was still cold, properly cold, the kind that settles in your lungs and makes you aware of every breath. But the sun felt like a promise. Not of warmth, not yet, but of change. And as I started walking, I could feel how stiff everything still was. The ground half frozen, puddles glazed with thin sheets of ice, grass flattened under weeks of rain. It mirrored how I'd been feeling lately. A little dormant, a little stuck, waiting for something to shift. Walking helps me think, but more than that, it helps me feel without overthinking. Step after step, something begins to soften. I saw the sheep first, scattered across fields, heads down, completely unbothered by the cold. They weren't waiting for spring. They weren't resisting winter. They were simply existing inside it. There was one sheep with markings that looked almost like a clown's face. Dark circles around the eyes, an exaggerated shape around the mouth. It looked almost comical, out of place. It made me laugh. I stood there longer than necessary, just watching it graze. It struck me how rarely I let myself just observe without reaching for my phone, without narrating it internally, without trying to make something of the moment. But this time, I just stood there. Cold hands, warm light on my face, watching a sheep that looked like it had painted on joy. As I walked towards Carnclough Reservoir, the water came into view slowly, a sheet of muted silver under the pale sun. There's something about reservoirs in winter that feel honest. They don't simply sparkle like summer lakes. They don't invite you in. They simply hold what they hold. Still, deep, reflective. I looked at the surface and saw the sky staring back at me. Blue, but not warm. Clear, but not soft. It felt like looking at my own thoughts. Calm on the surface, depth underneath. Sometimes I don't realise how much noise I've been carrying until I'm somewhere quiet enough to hear it settle. Further along, near Hurstwood Reservoir, the snow still clung to the hills where the sun hadn't reached. That contrast stopped me. One side glowing gold, the other still white and frozen. It felt symbolic in a way I can't articulate. Part of me warming, parts of me still holding on to winter. I think we're often like that, not fully one season or another. Healing in some areas, still frozen in others. The ducks moved across the water without urgency, leaving ripples that disappeared almost as quickly as they formed. I envy that sometimes, the ability to move through something cold without it becoming your whole story. The ducks don't seem to resent the season, they adapted to it. And I wonder how often I resist seasons of my own life instead of living inside them. The pine trees were steady as ever, unchanged, deep green against the pale sky. They don't shed dramatically, they don't transform visibly with every season. They endure. And I realise I've been craving that kind of steadiness. Not constant productivity, not constant growth, just quiet endurance. The ability to stand where I am, in whatever season I'm in, without rushing myself into the next one. Nothing extraordinary happened on this walk. No revelations, no grand turning points. Just cold air, still water, sheep on a hillside, sunlight finally returning. And somehow, that felt like enough. Maybe slow living isn't about changing your life overnight. Maybe it's about standing in a field in February, noticing the light and letting that be significant. Letting small things matter. Letting one sunny day soften you.